Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Choctaw Sports Hot Seat. I'm Corey Rolden.
I'm Aaron Fazell.
We have a special guest today, Jon Harding, who's on the basketball team and a good friend of Aaron Fazell. Aaron, can you tell us a little bit about Jon?
Yeah, Jon is, interestingly enough, he is a senior, but he came in 2017. We actually have a lot in common. He is the SAC president. He's a writing center tutor, and he's also an athlete. So those are some similarities that we have.
Jon's a great guy. We're excited to get him on the show. But before we do that, we got to preview our Choctaw sports. On the basketball team, both the men's and women's basketball teams are competing to make the GSC tournament, and they will play this Saturday against UAH. For baseball, baseball's back. They start up on Saturday, 1 o'clock. They'll play a doubleheader on Saturday against Harding University. They're excited to show off their new turf field. For the softball team, they play in the Gulf Coast Invitational on Friday. They start up in Gulf Shores. They won two NCAA tournament games last season, Aaron, and they're really excited to show off their talents, and they believe they can make a run again in the tournament. Well, that's it for the Choctaw Sports preview. Now we'll have Jon Harding on, and we're excited to show off the show. Welcome back to the Choctaw Sports Hot Seat. Now we have on Jon Harding, who is the president of SAC. So, Jon, a couple of weeks ago, we had a really special moment at Mississippi College. Caleb, a Make-A-Wish kid, got to have his dreams fulfilled. You really played a big part in that in meeting Steph Curry. Can you talk about the process and what you did for him and just Caleb in general?
Yeah, man. First of all, thanks for having me on.
No problem.
It's quite the privilege. At SAC, we do a lot of cool things here on campus. Our main job is really to be the advocate for student athletes in ways that they can't, just to make sure the whole entire experience, whether academic, extracurricular, or actually on the court with their team, is optimized and for the best of the student athletes. So we can appreciate that.
All right.
So for Caleb, one of our jobs is to fundraise, and one of our main charities we donate to is Make-A-Wish. Mm-hmm. So we're working directly with Make-A-Wish of Mississippi. Last calendar year, we raised $10,000 for Make-A-Wish specifically. And so we got the privilege of using those funds directly allocated for Caleb, which got to send him and his whole entire family to go to California to spend 3 days with Steph Curry on the Bay. That happened this past week, so his wish actually got to be granted. So that was a really cool experience. He has pulmonary hypertension, so he suffers from, I'm not a science major, so I don't know the exact details, but I know he's had a really hard experience coming up in life. But he's a special kid. We got the chance of planning and coordinating his actual reveal. He came into the game against Christian Brothers, I think the 16th. It was a Thursday night, and he had no idea what was going on. He had, I think, 10 to 15 of his friends and family there, and it was cool to see the whole student body get to participate in that.
And come on, dude, they all came on the court.
Yeah,
it was just, I had goosebumps. Really? And when they played the video and they pulled up Steph Curry, and then everybody just ran on the court, and they picked him up, and it was just, it was like, man, wow.
Yeah, it was a good thing.
I was pretty salty, I'm not gonna lie. I was in the locker room at halftime getting yelled at by Coach Jones while everyone was getting to celebrate. But no, it was an awesome moment, and I'm glad we got to bless Caleb and his family in that way. All thanks to Make-A-Wish Mississippi, of course. They're the ones who got to make that happen. So
awesome.
So you talk about Coach Jones hollering at halftime. What's it been like being coached by him?
I got nothing but good things to say. Set the record straight. He's a great coach. It's been cool to have. We really have 4 coaches this year. We got Coach Jones, Coach Lofton, Coach Ainsworth, and Coach Otis, the graduate. Coach Otis, the graduate assistant. We call him Coach O.
Oh no! All right.
That may be a disgrace to your Louisiana roots. I apologize, but we call him Coach O. So yeah, it's been a big change. It's my 3rd year in the program, and so I've seen differences in each year, and this year has been probably the most different by far. So,
can you talk about your journey to Mississippi College and how you really got here?
Yeah, for sure. So I lived all over the place. I've lived in 6 different states. So my journey here was kind of unconventional, but I used to live in Clinton, Mississippi back in the day. I don't know if you guys knew that or not.
Back in the day?
Back in the day, 6 and 7-year-old Jon lived in Clinton, Mississippi, like 2 minutes down the road. So This place has still been in my mind. My dad was a college pastor at Morrison Heights Baptist Church, just down the road. And so I grew up around college students going to MC. My 7th birthday party was at the MC intramural fields playing flag football. We were wearing Colts versus Cowboys in honor of Peyton Manning, so stay tuned for that later.
Were you any good?
I was fat. I'm not gonna lie. I was a fat kid, man. Everybody's got their stages in life, man. I was chubby. But yeah, so fast forward, I was in high school in Dallas. I transferred to a school the middle of my junior year, which is kind of unconventional because you don't know anybody. So I went from private to public, and then we ended up being ranked top 4 in the state of Texas. Went to the Final Four, lost on a heartbreaker, and then my recruitment really picked up after the state Final Four. A bunch of schools reached out, and Mississippi College was one of them, and took a visit, and the rest is history. So I just kind of came here, followed my heart, followed my roots in the past. I've got some family friends here, and so it's kind of how I'm here.
So before you came on, I talked about being a writing center tutor, a president, on top of an athlete. We kind of share the same struggles. How do you balance all of those things?
Man, I'm not doing a good job right now, I can tell you that. No, it's a challenge. It's a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing to be able to have responsibilities, as you would know, and be able to see ways you can lead campus and lead others. Just try and be a positive influence. I've got a lot of passions, and in addition to that, I also do a leadership team at my church, Morrison Heights, for the college ministry. That's probably my biggest passion, to be honest, is just serving ministry and just seeing the kingdom grow. But from that, balancing time is probably the biggest thing. If I had ever had to talk to anybody coming into college, it'd be like, hey man, get your time management down, because if not, you're gonna get thrown to and fro by the waves. So it's really just a matter of just being diligent and everything, and just kind of cutting out that waste of ways you can just manage your time better, and also not neglecting relationships you have in your life. It's also a factor you got to play into.
So I'm gonna make you think a little bit. If you have to pick one movie character that best represents who you are or your character, who would it be?
I'm a movie guy at heart. I don't know about you guys.
I'm a movie guy.
I'm a movie guy.
Yeah.
Who are you, Aaron?
That's a good question.
It's a hard question.
I feel like Aaron's like Will Smith, Men in Black.
Oh, we're doing men in specific movies. We're doing actors.
We're doing
actors to play you in your movie.
Roles,
character.
Yeah. Man.
He's stumped.
Have y'all ever seen? Is a movie many of y'all may have not seen. I might have seen it. It's called The Count of Monte Cristo. Y'all heard that?
No.
So it's a fantastic story, fantastic movie. My favorite movie of all time. If you're watching this, you should go watch it. It was made in the golden age of movies, like that 95 to 2005, when all the good movies were made. It's just like a story of a man who, it's just like a full redemption story. And so I love stories like that make for the best movies. So I'd say Edmond Dantes in Count of Monte Cristo. So sorry to go kind of rogue, but that's what I would say.
It's a little off subject, but you talk about that golden era of movies that just, when you start talking, I started thinking about Catch Me If You Can.
Bro, yes.
Great movie.
Fantastic movie. Tom Hanks is a great actor.
Yeah, he is.
I don't think I know that one.
What? It's on Netflix right now, man. You
gotta go see it.
Watch it. Not that I just said something about time management, so if that doesn't fit your time management, then I don't know about that, but these are some good movies. That's a good
Take a break.
Take a break.
I got another question for you that's going to make you think. All right, I'm putting you in a little scenario. You're on American Idol.
Oh,
you got one shot. You got to sing one song as well as you can to win it all. What song are you singing? You got to know all the lyrics. You got to hit all the high notes.
Oh, man. I've always wondered if anybody could ever sing a Drake song on American Idol and get away with it. Because I know a lot of Drake songs. Man, I feel like it changes every month. Everybody has his favorite song every month, and I'm like, man, I could sing that right now if I had to. Only when I'm in the shower, though, not any other time.
Right. It sounds the best when you're in the shower.
Yeah, for sure. I would probably go, man, y'all making me think. I don't know. Yeah, I got one. On top of your
I got one. Buy Me a Drink, T-Pain.
I'm gonna buy you a drink.
I'd be
Is there a karaoke segment on this show now?
I mean, we can make it happen.
Oh my god.
Baby girl. I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I think if I had to do one, I would probably go a little bit more conventional. I like the song Landslide by Fleetwood Mac.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not much of a singer, but I would enjoy trying to sing that song.
Okay.
I'd probably go a song by Donny Hathaway. It's an old school song called Love, Love, Love.
Okay, I think I know that one.
Yeah.
I can also do Under the Bridge by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Could do that.
Yeah, I think you guys should add a karaoke segment. I'll come watch next time you guys do it.
We'll look into it.
All right, sounds good to me.
All right, so now it's time for our debate section. We have 2 debate questions, and each of us has about 30 seconds each to make their case on what they think is the best out of these 2 questions. The first one, in honor of Kobe and Gigi, what is Kobe's greatest moment in the NBA?
I mean, I can go and steal it and say his final game. I think that was crazy because he was not in his prime, not in his prime. And,
60, man.
He put up about 58 shots, so, we're going to look past that. But for him to, put the team on his back in that way, that was a cool moment. Just, to see all the celebs come out. And that was just kind of his farewell. So, yeah, I can think of a lot of other moments, but I won't steal y'all's thunder.
So I'm going to go another part that wasn't in his prime as well. I'm going to go when Kobe tore his Achilles.
That's what I was thinking.
He had 2 free throw shots. And I've seen DeMarcus Cousins tear his Achilles. He's not getting up. I've seen Sheldon Rankins tear his Achilles. He's not getting up.
He's getting carted off.
Yeah, KD. This dude in a torn Achilles, which might be the most devastating injury in sports, took 2 free throws and walked off the court. You talk about the Mamba mentality. Yeah. That's just the Mamba mentality to me.
I'd probably, and this is probably a little cliche, but I would say that 5th championship. And that is prime Kobe, and that's just showing your dominance, asserting your dominance, and then he gets up on the table.
Oh yeah, I like the table.
He does his jersey like that, and you see the confetti falling down, and it's just iconic.
Is that 2010?
Yeah, it was.
2011,
yeah.
I was right around the time he was on the 2K cover too. You remember that 2K10 with little gold letters?
Yeah, I had that one.
Oh yeah.
All right, so since you're a big Tennessee fan, right, and you
the
think
biggest.
Peyton Manning's a okay
Yikes.
quarterback, anybody besides Peyton Manning, okay, who is the greatest University of Tennessee volunteer?
Greatest, period? So I'm going to go, I mean, it's kind of hard to not say Reggie White just because of his legendary figure status. But I would say, you said no Peyton Manning, right?
No Peyton Manning.
No Peyton Manning. Man. So, Reggie White was a legend, but he didn't do the most of his damage while he was in Tennessee, if that makes sense. He was really an NFL kind of player. But he obviously was great. A recent player actually broke his record while he was at Tennessee, Derek Barnett, now plays for the Eagles as well.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
I don't have a team, but I would still combat that. I don't know what I was going to say. I would probably go with Pat Summitt. I think her coaching, she's just kind of just so respected. Changed the game in a lot of ways. Won 8 national championships. I know Gino Auriemma, whatever, won more at UConn, but he recently said at a press conference, "I'll never be as respected as Pat Summitt." May she rest in peace. She lost a battle.
Changed the game of women's basketball.
She changed the game,
Yep.
and she's just an all-around great coach, great person. So I'm going Pat Summitt.
What about you, Aaron?
I don't know much about Tennessee athletics. I did a little digging.
A little Google search.
Yeah, a little Google search.
They haven't been relevant in the last couple of years.
Who's the head coach? Jeremy Pruitt.
Jimmy Pruitt, yeah. He's getting them right. He's getting them right.
They're coming up and up. But if I had to, from the list that I looked at, I'd probably say between Candace Parker, just because she was a first overall pick. So, she had a lot of good things going when she was at Tennessee. And then she ended up winning Rookie of the Year in the WNBA. So that kind of illustrates how dominant she was in college and then how she just asserted herself at the professional level. And I also like Alvin Kamara. I know he wasn't all too great at Tennessee, but he's made waves in the NFL. I think those are 2 great athletes. So,
everybody thinks I'm going to say AK, but I'm not. Y'all are overthinking this. It's Reggie White, one of the greatest defensive players of all time, on top NFL 100 team. Yep. And, as a defensive end, he might be the greatest defensive end ever to live. The dude was just dominant. He's one of the guys that said, I'm going to Green Bay and I'm going to win a Super Bowl. And he did it. Yeah. So, well, that's it for this segment of the Choctaw Sports Hot Seat. Next, we're going to have Eliot Reeder with his trivia questions. Welcome back. Now it's time for Eliot Reeder's trivia questions. Eliot?
All right, guys, so there are 4 players in NBA history that have a career free throw percentage of 90% or higher. Can you name those 4 players?
Oof. Oof.
Steve Nash has got to be on that list.
Steve Nash is one of them.
Ray Allen.
Is not Ray Allen.
John
Whoa.
Stockton.
Not John Stockton.
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry is one of them.
Wow.
Kyle
There's a-
Korver.
Not Kyle Korver.
Man, I'm 0 for 2.
Gary Payton?
Not Gary Payton.
Michael Jordan.
It's not Michael
Wait,
Jordan.
no.
No.
LeBron James.
Absolutely not.
Peja Stojakovic.
No.
Are they all point guards?
Oh,
One of
JJ
them-
Redick.
Nope. One of them is a point guard. One of them is a small forward.
We've only named
Larry
one.
Bird.
Not Larry Bird.
Point guard. Is it like back in
Give us a
The
One
team.
of them
60s
was in
and
the
70s?
80s and 90s. One of them was in the 60s and 70s.
Pistol Pete?
Bob Cousy.
Nope. Neither one of them.
Jerry West.
Not Jerry West.
That's a good guess.
Oscar Robertson.
It's not the Big O.
Kendrick Perkins.
Perkins.
All right, Eliot, I think it's time for you to give us this one.
It is Mark Price and Rick Barry.
Rick Barry.
Rick Barry.
Rick Barry, man.
Rick Barry.
Dude, homeboy had the underhand.
He had 90% free throw. Man.
Dude, maybe I should start
Yeah.
under
Come out to the game tonight if you want to see my underhand free throw.
Rick
Or,
Barry style.
I don't know if this is being filmed or posted, but we play Lee tonight. So.
All right. So who holds the NBA, or who's the career leader in the NBA in career minutes played?
LeBron James.
It's not LeBron. He's rising up, but it is not LeBron right now.
Is it Kareem?
It is Kareem.
Yeah, I was about to say he's
Kareem.
Holds it.
nice.
All right, so got a, kind of a big event this weekend with the Super Bowl. Kind of a big deal. So who or what team holds the record for the most points scored in a single Super Bowl?
That would be the San Francisco 49ers versus the Denver Broncos in 1989 in the Superdome.
That is correct.
Man, buddy got the
49ers
questions
dropped-
beforehand.
Nope, I did not.
I call rigged.
Hey. I did
49ers
not.
dropped 55 back in Super Bowl 24.
On John Elway.
Didn't the Seahawks have 48 recently?
They did have 48
Yeah,
recently.
but 48's not more than 55.
It's too bad the Saints couldn't put up that many points in the dome, huh?
Man, I'm dealing with a lot right now. Drew Brees might be retiring, so it's okay.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, man.
So, John, I've heard that you have one more story to tell us about
Man.
you and your love for Tennessee.
Yeah, man. This didn't fit in the Tennessee segment earlier, but back in the day, talked about the stages we got to go through in life. I grew a little bit quick, not only vertically but also horizontally. It's a struggle. And as a freshman, I was about 6'5", 260, 270. So I didn't carry the weight. It was not a lot of muscle. I wasn't hitting the weight room. They say wait till you get older to get in the weight room, but I was still 270. So I was in Knoxville, just nearby, and I was like, I'm gonna go check out campus. So I just walked in. I'm like, let's go see the football complex. I walk into the football complex. I walk in, the coaches are right there, and they're like, how's it going? I'm like, oh, I'm here for my unofficial visit. I'm like, yeah, and they're like, oh man, what's your name? I'm a Texas kid. Texas has got that, football lure.
Right.
Little did they know, I quit football the year previous. I hadn't touched a ball in about a year. I was a right tackle growing up too, so I could have, maybe I could have played, football.
Good.
At
Help the team
Tennessee.
out.
Yeah, could have protected Aaron more,
So they showed you the whole facility?
Yeah, man. I got to sit in there. Like the head coach brought me in his office. I got to meet everybody. Got to go look at the weight room, the nutrition. That stuff is crazy, and it's probably only gotten better since the last 7 years or so. So,
Who's the head coach at the time?
man, I won't say his name. Butch Jones. Yeah, I may not know that name, but man, he's talking about Tennessee being irrelevant. He ran him in the ground. So, but that's another time. We could have had a whole hour segment
On Butch Jones?
Choctaw Sports Hot Seat, Tennessee edition. If y'all ever do that, let me know.
Well, David Nichols would be happy for that. So when
David,
he's
he should be a
watching this, he's
co-host.
going to be like, man, Tennessee, yeah.
Love you, David, if you're watching.
Well, that's it for this segment of the Choctaw Sports Hot Seat. I'm Corey Roldan.
I'm Aaron Fazell.
Jon Harding.
We'll see you guys next week.